स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथिता पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ततां भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी.
Last verse of 16th chapter, verse 24.
24. Shastra is the pramana for proper conduct. Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya vyavasthitau jnatva shastra vidanoktam karma kartumarhasi. Tasmat, therefore, karya akarya vyavasthitau, in the determination of what is to be done and not to be done, te, for you Arjuna, shastram pramanam. One minute. 1 minute, Swamiji. Just a minute. Prashant wanted to be admitted. He had taken away the mouse with him. I was searching for the mouse, I couldn't get it.
I am not able to see your face.
Okay.
So, see here he says, this concluding verse, he says, Shastram Pramanam for what is to be done and what is not to be done. Okay. So, Shastra has got two meanings, which I think I told before also. One is Sasanat Shastram. That gives what is being talked about here.
Yes, you told us.
What is to be done and what is not to be done. The second thing is Samshanat Shastram. Shamshanat means that which reveals the truth to you. Revelation. So that is the Jnana Kanda. See, Jnana Kanda is for understanding. Karma Kanda is the Sasanat Shastram, the first portion. So both are Shastram only. Here he is talking about Karya, Akarya, Vyavasthita. Like karma, whatever you are supposed to do, what you are not supposed to do is there. That is what that Asuri Sampat, Devi Sampat, everything. The whole Sampat part of it is how you should be and how you should not be. What you should do, what you should not do. Even prayer, how you are supposed to do. Your activity, even if you follow Kamya Karma, desire, if it is as per the Dharma, then it is okay. As if it is Adharma, it is Asuri Sampat. If it is as per Dharma, it is Shastroktam, meaning Satvika Sampat. So even there, even though we are doing Kamya Karma also, if you are doing as per Vihita, then you are supposed to get grace. The grace you can, if you pray for, I must go to this loka, you will go there. If you pray that I want Siddha Shuddhi, Duridakshayartham, Parameshwara Prityartham, then you will get Duridakshaya. Then you will get the infrastructure, a peaceful mind where you can pursue knowledge. So, even to be done karma, vihita karma, even if you do karma anushthanam properly with the sankalpa being to get rid of all impurities and have a good stable mind for me to study sattvika sampat. That is devika sampat. Whereas, if you do kamya karma to put down somebody or to become somebody greater than others, then that is Rajasika and Tamasika, that is Asuri Sampat and Rakshasa Sampat. So, even all that is told in the Karma Kanda, that is Sasanat Shastram. And if you develop the Satvika Buddhi, then you will get into Shamshanat Shastram. That is the understanding part of it, which is the Jnana Kanda, which is the Brahma Vidya, which is being talked about. So, even within Brahma Vidya, Bhagavan has told that you need to do your karma as yoga and you have to develop the Devika Sampati. You have to lift yourself up. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjana Bhavan told. There, Nistraigunyo means what? You can become Nistraigunyo only when you become Sattvika Sampat. Otherwise, you will be in all the three, like Tamasika, Rajasika, Sattvika, a mixture, which is what we are all born with. So, idea is that Traigunya Vishayaha Vedaha, meaning what is being talked about in this Devi Sampad, Asuri Sampad, Akshasa Sampad is all the three gunas, the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So, Traigunya Vishayaha Vedaha, we have already discussed. Now, Nistraigunya Bhavarjana, if you want to become free from all the gunas, you need to raise your Sampati to Devi Sampad and avoid all the Asuri Sampad. That has been the summary of this particular chapter, where you raise yourself from the level of Tamas to Rajas to Sattvika Sampad, from Rakshasa Sampad to Asuri Sampad to Devika Sampad. So it has told what you are not supposed to do, that is Asuri Sampad and the Rakshasa Sampad, and you are supposed to do is Devi Sampad, Sattvika. And what for? To become free from all these gunas, and so that you can understand your reality is free from all this. We are categorically told by Bhagavan that Traigunya Vishayaha Vedaha, Vedas Purva portion, the Shastra, what has told is all to be for you to learn and grow over, so that Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna, you can become free from all the gunas. So the idea is not, because there also he has told, even Sattvika Sampad is only golden shackles. Whereas Asuri Sampad and Rakshasa Sampad is iron shackles. That's all the difference. The shackle remains. So if you want to be free from shackle, you have to grow over all these things. Suddha Sattva, Sattvika Sampad, and then study, understand, and become free. As it is, you understand that your reality is free from all these gunas. Okay, the gunas are all there in the society. It will be there. There will be people with more of Sattvika Sampad, more of Rakshasika Sampad, but you have to deal with them. Within you also, you have to ensure that you always remain the Sattva, the clear vision, so that you can manage all the other modifications. Nistraigunya Bhavarjana. So the guna part of it is recognized even by Bhagavan. Society is going to be like this. But you have to raise yourself up. That is why this has been very so elaborately discussed. What are all the pitfalls? Where all you can, even though you can do prayer, but what motive you are doing prayer? That makes all the difference. So we have to be alert to all those things. So that once you are ready with all this, then he completes. If you do Shastra Vidhanoktam, if you do, you will be able to raise yourself to Devi Sampad. That's what he's saying. Yeah.
Tasmat, therefore, Karya Akarya Vyavastitau, the determination of what is to be done and not to be done, te, for you Arjuna, Shastram Pramanam. Shastra is the means of knowledge. Shastra Vidana Uktam. What is said by the mandates of Shastra? Karma, action, here in this world, Jnatva, knowing, Kartu or Hasid, you are obliged to do. Therefore, Shastra is the means of knowledge for you, Arjuna, in the determination of what is to be done and what is not to be done. Knowing what is said by the mandates of Shastra, you are obliged to perform action here in this world. Shastra, meaning the Veda, is a pramana not only for Arjuna but for everybody. Pramana is a means of knowledge, not, as it is often translated, a guide or authority. The word itself reveals the meaning Brahma Karanam Pramanam, that which is instrumental in giving rise to Prama, knowledge is Pramana. What kind of knowledge? The knowledge required in determining what is to be done and what is not to be done in a given situation. Whenever I want to know whether it is proper for me to do something or not, what kind of prayers I have to do when, and the method of doing them, how much wealth I can have and how much I should distribute and so on, I will find it told in the injunctions of the Shastra, Shastra Vidana Yuktam. A Vidana is what is mandated or enjoined. For example, it is said by the Shastra, do not hurt, himsam na kuryat.
Himsam na kuryat.
Himsam na kuryat. And do not speak falsehood. Anritam na bruyat. And the karma for each varna and ashrama is very clearly mentioned in the Shastra. But today, because of the breakdown of those systems, we have to convert these injunctions with reference to varna and ashrama into what is to be done and not to be done in general. Shastra tells us one's actions attract punya and papa, which are the adishta phalas, and therefore one has to be mindful of one's actions. Here, iha, in this world, you stand to do karma kartum arhasi. The mention of iha here is to draw attention to the fact that on this earth, as a human being, you have the freedom to act or not to act. In other worlds, like heaven, Swarga on the other hand, we do not have this freedom. We can only exhaust karma. We cannot do more karma and gather punya or papa. Even on this planet, there are shades of difference in that India is considered a better place to gather karma phala, a karma bhumi, while the United States of America is looked upon as a place where we predominantly experience the result of karma, a bhoga bhumi. But everywhere on this planet, as human beings, we do enjoy the freedom to choose our option and learn. In Gandharva Loka, on the other hand, all the time is passed in enjoyment of music. What can one learn there? This human birth in which we have that freedom is very rare and precious. And that freedom to learn and do karma and earn karma phala here in this world is to be used, not abused. If you analyze the Shastra, this is the essence of what it says about actions. Knowing the karma that the Shastra has enjoined, you stand to do it, kartum arhasi. Thus, Bhagavan concludes this chapter in which he talks about Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat and concludes by telling Arjuna that he should always go by the Shastra in deciding what is to be done and what is not to be done. Om Tat Sat. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga Nama Shodasodhyayaha. Om Brahman is the only reality. Thus ends the 16th chapter called Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga, having the topic of the description of becoming and unbecoming dispositions in the Bhagavad Gita, which is in the form of a dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, which is the essence of the Upanishads, whose subject matter is both the knowledge of Brahman and Yoga.
So we move to the 17th chapter.
Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yogaha. Topic of the description of the three types of Shraddha. Introduction. In the last verse of the last chapter, it was said, therefore, with reference to knowing what is to be done and what is not to be done, Shastra is the means of knowledge for you. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vyavastitau. Even though common sense gives rise to the knowledge of what is right and wrong, yet we do not find people doing what is right and refraining from what is wrong. It is not out of ignorance. Everybody knows stealing, for example, is wrong, but there are thieves. And the thief also knows that stealing is wrong because he does not want his own goods to be stolen. Furthermore, when he steals, he uses stealth because he knows it is not proper. Therefore, his knowledge of the impropriety of stealing is not completely assimilated. He knows that his property should not be stolen and that another person does not want his property to be stolen. He knows what he gains and he knows the risks involved. At the same time, he does not know what he loses if he steals. Only by Shastra can we understand this properly. I cannot escape the consequences of an action because the faculty of choice and the law of karma go together. Choice presupposes a set of norms that determine which option I choose. I need to understand this well. I can steal or I need not. I can hurt or I can refrain from hurting. I can tell a lie or I can tell the truth. I can give or I need not. Once this choice is there, on what basis do I make it? Choice means the possibility of right and wrong. and I also should know this. I must be able to gather an understanding of what is right and wrong, and I am able to through a common sense that has been given to all of us. This universal sense of right and wrong is what is called dharma. Everyone knows it without being taught. It is sensed by all of us commonly, like any other natural law. Without knowing the law of gravity, even a baby monkey knows that it will fall to the ground if it lets go of its mother while she is swinging through the trees. Like the law of gravitation, this law of dharma, right and wrong, which is commonly sensed, is also not created by us. It is very important to understand this. If it is man-made, it can always be different. In America, we drive on the right side of the road, and in India on the left. Taxation, what constitutes a crime, punishment for crimes, is all man-made. These laws are different from the dharmika fabric, the law of right and wrong that is part of the creation. This law of dharma already exists and is known to me, and I have a faculty of choice called free will, with which I am going to choose an action. If I choose an action that is in keeping with or is against the law of dharma, that very law must impact me appropriately. If I go against a law, then I must experience the friction it causes. If I act in keeping with the laws, I must experience the result of that. This is what laws are. If an object is dropped from a height, it will fall, no matter what the object is. It is the law. The law that we call the law of dharma at the level of choice and the law of karma at the level of action is the same. There is no way I can escape from a natural law, unlike a law created by man. I can always avoid the sight of the traffic officer and drive 75 miles an hour. There, you can avoid detection and therefore the consequences. But you cannot avoid the detection or the result of an action that is against a natural law. If you have any doubt, touch a live wire and you will understand. Even if you are in charge of the hydroelectric scheme, you will be electrocuted. No one is exempt from a natural law. If you touch fire, you will be burnt, and similarly, if you rub against the law, you will be rubbed in the process. This law of karma is centered on the law of dharma and is connected to your free will, your sense of doership, katritva. This is the unique privilege of a human being. Other living beings, including the gods, are only equipped to experience karma, not to generate any new karma phala, because they have no free will. Where there is a sense of agency, katritva, there should be freedom to choose.
See, this is the beauty. Generally we say kartrutvam is what is binding. Whereas here he says kartrutvam is what is the freedom that is unique to a human being. That you can do it differently, you need not do. That freedom is 100%. The purushartha is 100% only in a human being, the entire species, not even devatas have that. Wind can only blow, fire can only glow. So, whereas the human being has got the freedom to act or not to act differently. That indication, that freedom, the 100% degree of freedom called free will indicates you are unique in the whole creation. Where you have got the opportunity to understand that freedom is my birthright. And the freedom is what? The freedom is I am the free being. I am not bound by any plus, minus, sukham, dukkham, all opposites. I am not bound by. I am the free being. That free being understanding comes from the very intimate understanding of your kartrutvam being 100% free. Whereas people generally feel that freedom to do anything is a very, it's a drawback. I don't know what to do. I got the freedom to do or not to do it differently. That is where, if you are sensitive enough, if you are really tuned to the laws of dharma, universal dharma, not your man-made dharma, not legal proceedings and all that. Your intimate understanding of the law of dharma and adharma which you are born with. That is why Swamiji always insists that you are born with the universal dharma, that not to hurt others, not to tell a lie, all these things. we are become so insensitive to all these things, the freedom also we are lost. The freedom of dharma also we have lost. Because of that, we have lost our human being status. And we are looking for solution elsewhere. Making money, making comforts. So, whereas it doesn't exist there. That is where the viveka is. Where the vairagya should be what seeing the absence of connection between what you want and what you are doing. You are doing all the things that which is not going to help you in understanding this viveka. Your reality is freedom. Your sense of proportion in your activity, purushartha, should be totally governed by the laws of karma which you are born with. It is not that told in the school. Like he said clearly, even a thief does not want his property to be stolen. That means what? He knows very well he should not thief. Why you develop a value for thieving? That means you have become inhuman.
Yes.
And all of us, we have become inhuman in small and big ways.
Yes.
That is the only reason why we suffer. Not because of the world and all other people and all that. No. We suffer because of our insensitivity to dharma, insensitivity to our own freedom. So praptasya praptihi. That is why Swamiji said, what is there already with you, you have lost it because of your lack of understanding. So what you have to do? You have to understand. There is nothing else to do. If you want to gain that freedom of which is your reality, you have to understand it. For that, you have to antarmukhi bhava, you have to introspect, you have to think about all these things. For you to think about all these things, you must have the freedom inside. If you are already connected with your body, mind, senses, and all pleasures and all that, you are chasing all the time. You have no time to sit and introspect. Even if you listen to something, okay, nice to listen. 1 hour I spent nicely with Bhagwan and then chanting. And then, come on, so there is no connection between what you try to understand, what you are doing with your life. So there is no way you can get away from all these things. These are all realities. It is not like Swamiji said, you may escape the token by driving, going against the signal 75 miles per hour if you are not saved. Because there is a man-made law. Your own, the natural law of dharma is not like that. Even if you go, because first thing is, as you transgress that law, immediately there is a hurt inside. Others may not know.
Yes.
And telling a lie, you know that I am telling a lie. There is a prayojanam. Prayojanam is what? Immediate papa. Immediate papa. Nobody has to tell you. You have done something wrong, you know immediately. Immediately what you get is, the hurt you get is inside is papa. The split in your personality, I know what I am not supposed to do, but I have done. The split itself gives you sanchalam ki manaha. Arjuna says, no, chanchalam ki manaha. How it happened? Because of all these things. So, the problem is you and solution is you. Swamiji's famous book.
Yes, yes.
So, you cannot escape. So, when it is so very clear, why not put our heart and soul into understanding this and living by that in small and big ways? So, how to live? Swamiji has already totally documented in the 16th chapter. How you should be, how you should not be. Both have been told. So take it one by one at a time and try to live it. And slowly it will grow on you. But all the time focus on the freedom. Every moment I must be able to be a free person. I must be able to do what I know is right by karma, by dharma. And what I am not, even though it gives me a big lottery also, I will not go against dharma. Because it immediately gives me hurt. The papam I know. Then so these things, this understanding should be so thorough. That's why the whole chapter, so much time is spent on Vihita Karma and Avihita Karma, which is not part of the Brahma Vidya. But still he said, unless you settle all these things, unless you are willing to retain your freedom of Kartum Sakyam, Akartum Sakyam by living a totally committed to Dharma, Sattva Shuddhi, Sattva means what? Your mind is called Sattva because it's supposed to be Sattva. But it is all mixed up with Rajas and Tamas. So you have to free it from Tamas and Rajas. Then only you can call your mind as mind. Otherwise it is Chanchalam. So we have to get back to the roots very clearly, and he has explained the whole thing. So now, 17th chapter also, for this he says you must have the Shraddha. You must have the Shraddha in the Shastra. Shraddha means it's not faith or belief or it's not like that. Shraddha should be from him, from the heart. You want to be a free person here and now. You want to understand that life has freedom before you go or before you grow old. For that, the Shraddha has to be total. That is called Shraddha. Shraddha to the truth. Shraddha to Acharya's sayings. So that he is going to explain in what is Shraddha. The Sat Shraddha, Tamasika Shraddha, Rajasika Shraddha. Rajasika Tamasika Shraddha avoid 22. Sattvika Shraddha. Focus should be totally on understanding and understanding freedom as my reality. That is going to explain in the 17th chapter. Yeah.
You have the freedom to perform an action or avoid it. When you can avoid an action that should be avoided, but you still do it, you definitely get the result. Why do people cut corners when they know what dharma is? Because they do not know what they stand to lose. They know very well what they gain. By robbing somebody, I get some money, and it is very clear to me what money can do for me. But what I lose, I do not know, and that is where Shastra educates me. It tells me that there is such a thing as a law of karma which generates an unseen result, adhishtakara, for every action, and it also tells me what is to be done and not to be done. Shastra, the scripture, is the means of knowledge for this. Krishna tells Arjuna in the last verse of the previous chapter, therefore, with reference to knowing what is to be done and what is not to be done, Shastra is the means of knowledge for you. This becomes the basis of a doubt for Arjuna. He raises the following question.
Verse 1.
Yeah.
Arjuna's question. Arjuna Uvacha Ye Shastra Vidhi Utvidya Vidante Shraddhayanvitaha Tesha Nishchadu Krishna Tattva Mahorajastamaha.
Sorry to interrupt. This dharma little confusing in the sense certain dharma that we do, we feel like we have to do towards our family, irrespective of whether we like or not. Some dharma, we have the choice to select whether we have to do or not. Some dharma, even though it is adharma, we need to keep doing, like our corporate jobs. So, what about the dharma some people don't do, but they are supposed to do, but they don't do? So you say they will incur papa, right?
See, that is why I am telling that, because the office karma, the laukikam, vaidikam, personal, professional, all those things, it queers the pitch. You understand what I mean? Queers the pitch means it confuses you. It is not categorical, because the Varnashrama Dharma is no more there. That's what he has told already. Varnashrama Dharma is no more there. Now you are living in the society where at any point in time you have to look at Dharma, what is your Samanya Dharma and what is your Vishesha Dharma. Vishesha Dharma is a role play, the script according to the role, what you are supposed to do. Samanya Dharma is what he has already told. Do not hurt others, do not tell a lie. These are all Samadhi Dharma. See, even if you do Vishesha Dharma, it should not be in contrast to the Samanya Dharma. In the sense, as long as you don't hurt, you in your own understanding, by mistake or by inadvertency or because of your lack of understanding of a certain situation, if you do something because of which it hurts somebody, that is not called your Papa Karma and all that. That is all because of the situation, society in which we live. Everything we don't know. So to that extent I understand, to that extent I know, to that extent I am capable of, I do what is appropriate to not to vitiate Samanya Dharma. That part of it you should be clear every time. You must be able to judge. That is where apramatta. You must be living an alert living. You cannot be taking it casually. You have to be alert, and you have to be, because it is your life. You You want to retain your freedom. You want to retain your sense of dharma inside, so that there is no conflict within, so that your mind is in a good place all the time. You have the space, so that you can study, you can understand, you can live a life of the freedom where you what do you call? You enjoy this freedom that I, the being, all these are my roles. A plays the role of a beggar. Beggar is the role, and beggar is not the actor. All these things, whatever we have discussed, all these things at every point in time, it is not that it's meant for only Amitabh Bachchan. It's meant for you and me. Every time we are playing a role, you can never escape from that. And every time you have to judge it. And if you are really clear in your understanding, there won't be any choice. We say there is a choice because we are confused. So if you apply this understanding clearly at any point in time, whatever it is, you will be able to do what is appropriate to the ground and keep moving on. You will not look back. Whatever is done is already done. Karmanyeva adhikaraha te. Phala is already, Bhagavan is taking care of. And the whole gamut of laws and everything is taken care of. In the sense, even Ramana says, no, karturageya prapyate palam. Karma kimparam karma tajjadam. Don't invest your whole life in terms of karma. Karma is jadam. And the results are all played by the karturageya. Somebody is sitting and playing the role of a puppeteer. He is taking care of all the things. So you do what is appropriate. That's what Bhagavan himself says, which we have discussed many times. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachi. Nee wo role pannupa, just put the arrow on the bow and pray and tell your missile. It will do what is appropriate. It is not going to do because you say it. It is going to do because it is the dharma. So all these things, no, we should be very clear. Then you keep doing. Live one day at a time. Do what I am supposed to do, I do. Keep moving. Keep your mind free of conflict. Then automatically things will follow. It will slowly grow on you. I tell you, you won't have to ask anybody. You will know what is proper in your life. Everyone knows. Swamiji always says, everyone knows what is proper. If they are not saying that they are understanding, they are only trying to escape the situation. It is not because they don't know. Everyone knows dharma, like he is clearly told. Even the thief knows what he is not supposed to steal. Like whatever, thief may be, we are telling thief because as if thief is somebody else. We can be a thief. And we may be thieving also in small and big ways in our lives. Taking somebody else's bread. My teacher used to tell me, if you own more than 4 or 5 dresses, you are stealing somebody else's dress in the society. Even now I remember, I never used to have more than that. So we should be unapologetic about these things. We should not be looking for excuses. How to live a sane life. Yeah.
Arjuna Uvacha said, Krishna, O Krishna, yea, those Shastra Vidim, what is stipulated by the Shastra? Giving up. 2. But Shraddhaya, with Shraddha. Anvitaha, endure. Ejante, perform rituals. Tesha, there. Nishta, basis. Ka, what? Sattvam, is it Sattva? Aho, you are. Rajas, or. Rajas. Tamas, or Tamas. Arjuna said, Krishna, those who perform a ritual giving up what is stipulated by the Shastra, but endure with Shraddha, what is the basis? Is it Sattva or Rajas or Tamas?
Beautiful question. What Prashant asked, suppose he is saying that this is actually the whole thing they discuss around the ritual only. That ritual you can say, even our office ritual you can include. They are not included here. But what he is telling, okay, I am doing with lot of Shraddha. But maybe I am not doing as per what Shastra has stipulated because certain things I don't know. Like certain samagri I don't have. I don't have the money to give dakshina. Whether dakshina which I give, I am doing it properly or not. Whether I am sitting properly, whether I am clean properly, whether I have taken bath properly. or not, if I am not well, what am I supposed to do? So many, we are all asking for all the excuses. And excuses are also available, genuinely also. But he says, he is asking this question, Arjuna is asking this question. Those who perform a ritual, giving up what is stipulated by the Shastra, but endowed with Shraddha, but Manasula Shraddha, what is their basis? Adenna Rajasa, Tamasa? That is precisely the question you are asking. And he is going to give the answer. We have to go through this thoroughly and go by that. Yeah.
This is a very interesting question. Arjuna addresses this question to Krishna and asks, what about certain group of people who offer worship or pray to the deities without following the various stipulations laid down in the Shastra about how they are to be done? What is the basis of such rituals? Is it Sattva, Rajas or Tamas? In the Smriti, the Vedas, the supporting Smritis, we have varieties of forms of worship with rules about how they are to be done. Suppose there are some people who do a Vedic ritual like Agnihotra or Smartha Karma like puja, prayer or any action and deeply reward but do not follow the stipulations of the Shastra, Shastra within Utrujya Yajante, giving up stipulations of the Shastra, they perform these rituals. Here the word Utsrijya means not only giving up but also not following exactly or completely. We cannot say they do not follow Shastra, otherwise we will not call it worship. They follow a number of rituals like rules, but they do not follow meticulously all of them that are stipulated by the Shastra.
See, this is applicable to 100% of the society today.
Yes.
Our Arjuna asked as an exception. Whereas today, all our rituals are 100% not as per stipulations. That is why Swami TV says we are only following mass religion. We are not following true religion. None of us. 100% of all the rituals we do are with blemish. So that is what he is talking about. He is talking as an exception, whereas today is the rule. This is the rule of the society. Doing Vihida Karma in an unstipulated manner. Yeah.
Swamiji, but in rituals performance also, like how we have ISKCON Krishna worship different, Madhva Krishna worship
That's
different.
what I'm telling. We don't know. We totally have lost it.
Okay. No, but
But
we have this, but we also have this Rahasya Ambal worship where only certain
That's what I'm telling. There are so many things. Forget it. Here he is talking about Vishwara in general, worship in general, not Sitila Devi and Kamba Devi and all that. So, this is all in the sense, no, what I'm telling is, that's why we are only following Arvachina Vidhi, whereas Prachina Vidhi is supposed to be Shastra. 1,000 years back, we have lost it. So today it's all done, it's all a commercial thing. Like a set of people have to survive and set of people have to get rid of their guilt. So it's all being followed, that's all. So anyway, what I'm telling is, he is talking, is raising a very valid question for today's society. Let us see what Bhagavan says. Yeah.
In a ritual to worship a particular deity, there is no immediate result. Generally, we take shortcuts only when there is an immediate result, and we are under some pressure to complete the action. But here, nobody pressures me to offer a prayer or perform a ritual. I can do it, or I may not do it. I know this is an act of worship because the Shastra tells me, and it also tells me the manner in which it has to be done. Why should I do it without following the prescribed method? After all, I need not do it at all. When I have chosen to do it, why would I not follow all the rules? Why should anybody perform a ritual without following the rules? There are two possibilities. One is that they do not know. It is often the case with puja or other rituals. People know it is to be done but have learned how to do it from seeing it done, either with people in the family or elsewhere. They just follow the convention, achara, without studying further. Why? Because of Shraddha.
எது கேட்டாலும் family convention சொல்லிடுவா. Typical example Swamiji used to say, Satyanarayana puja பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தான் somewhere. and just he has arranged everything. Everything is done. Very rich fellow. And then previous day evening, he was looking for a Shastri has come. Everything is given. He was looking for a kudai. Then it is not in the part of the stipulation. Why kudai? Anyway, he got the kudai, and then he was looking for a cat. And cat what for? No. எங்க வீட்ல சத்யநாராயண பூஜை பண்ணும்போது பூஜைக்கு லெஃப்ட் ஹேண்ட் சைட்ல கூடையில cat இருக்கணும். அப்பதான் சத்யநாராயண பூஜை as per our convention. Even when Shastriya says இதுக்கு என்ன சம்பந்தம், he doesn't understand because he says it's a convention, my family convention. So acharam means the only thing we know acharam is what is in my family. Not what the Shastra says, because we don't care to understand what the Shastra says, because we don't know the language also. Shastra also do not explain. So we go on with this achara and all. That's what he said. Yeah.
Because of Shraddha, they perform the worship following convention because they have Shraddha, but they do not know all the stipulations and therefore do not follow them. The other possibility is that the person knows the stipulations but does not follow them. In this case, there is no Shraddha. Why do they do the ritual then? Only for some name or fame. The people under discussion here, however, do have Shraddha.
So what he says is there are people who are doing all the rituals and all that without Shraddha. That is always there. They may be doing, but there won't be any Shraddha. That is not talking right now. Right now, since Arjuna asked the question, the fellow has the Shraddha, but still he does not follow the discipline. What happens to him? That is going to be explained here. Yeah.
Arjuna wonders what is their nishtha, their basis for operation, their commitment. What is the disposition of their antakarna in terms of the three gunas? Is sattva the basis of their operation or is it rajas or tamas? Shankara says the question is whether they worship they offer is satvika, rajasika or tamasika. There are different types of worship depending on who is worshipped and the attitude and intent of the worshipper.
பிரசாந்த் படிக்கிறியா?
படிக்கிறேன் ஒரே நிமிஷம்.
Ravana's prayer இங்கேருந்து ஆரம்பிக்கணும்.
Ravana's prayer in black magic, which is also prayer or tamasika, of which type is an act of worship not done in the specified way but with Shraddha. Not can answer this in one sentence and say it is Satvika. But Arjuna's question arises from his incomplete understanding of the nature of Shraddha. Rudra introduces the answer of Bhagavan by saying that one should not answer a general question on a subject without dividing it into the component parts in order to make it more specific. This is a very important thing in understanding any topic. If someone goes to a doctor complaining that he is in pain, the doctor will ask specific questions to find the location and the nature of the pain. This is called pravibhava. Keep on negating until you localize the problem. Shraddhas of three types looked at on the basis of the gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. The topic of this whole chapter is the division of the threefold Shraddha, Shraddhatraya, Vibhaga Yoga. The type of Shraddha a person has is going to decide even his eating habits and a number of other things. Thus, the various manifestations of different types of Shraddha are also going to be told in this chapter.
Because the Shastra says the most important thing is Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. In the sense, as long as your Shraddha is perfect, there is no reason why you will not get this understanding of life. The understanding of life is directly proportional to the Shraddha you have. So that much of important Shraddha is there for understanding. And for you to develop an internal infrastructure where you can study, even in karma you must have Shraddha. That the karma part of it is already explained. So I think they have gone out. Yeah.
I'm there, Swamiji, hearing.
Yeah. So karma also we have Shraddha, and in understanding also we must have Shraddha. Both are very important, critical. So that is why the Shraddha that is being defined here, Sattvika Shraddha, Rajasika Shraddha, Tamasika, is applicable for both study, karma and as well as jnana. So that is why it is in the 17th chapter, just before he is going to conclude in the 18th chapter, the whole Gita. So we have to analyze it very thoroughly. Then we will not say every time we are getting into such situation, you must bifurcate. He clearly said, you must do vibhaga. Where exactly? Where is in my attitude there is a problem. In my samagri there is a problem. In the circumstances there is a problem. You have to analyze it and one by one shoot it out. Should not generalize it. You cannot. You have to bifurcate the problem into various pieces and find out where you can do. Where is within your control, you must do it. Within your control, whatever it is, you must make it Sattvika Shraddha. That is what he is going to explain.
Verse 2, the threefold Shraddha based on gunas. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Trivida Bhavati Shraddha Dehinam Sa Swabhavada Satviki
படிக்கிட்டா கஷ்டமா இருக்கா?
Satviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Cheti Tam Shruno. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha said, Dehinam, of the embodied beings, Subhavaja is born of the nature of the mind. Sa Shraddha, that Shraddha, Satvika, Rajasi cha Yeva, and Rajasika, Tamasi cha and Tamasika, Iti thus Trivida Bhavati, threefold. Tam Shranu, listen to that. Threefold Shraddha. Bhagavan said, Shraddha of the embodied beings is born of the nature of the mind, is threefold as Satvika, Rajasika, and Tamasika. Listen to that threefold Shraddha. Shraddha is one, but the state of differences in its nature can be viewed as threefold Trivida. The bread is one, but then there are different types of bread, French, dough, and so on. Unlike bread, however, Shraddha is not an external object, which is your mind alone. Though you may call it faith, Shraddha is more than that. It is the whole person. Shraddha is not your belief system, but your whole attitude towards life. Your attitude towards your body, towards wealth, towards people, towards acts of worship, food, altruistic acts like charity, and so on. All of these have implications for your Shraddha towards each other. Even how a person dresses reveals so much about his or her value structure and attitude. It can be ostentatious, sloppy and tasteless, or neat and refined. From the very dress, we can understand whether he is Satvika, a thinking person who has some values and really wants to know something more, whether there is some depth to the person. The whole demeanor of the person, his actions, the way in which he keeps the house, all indicate the type of Shraddha he has towards everything in life. It overflows from inside into everything you do. Shraddha is not outside, it is in your thinking, your understanding, your value structure and your priorities. All these are implied and thus it is not an ordinary word. Therefore, we have a whole chapter dedicated to understanding Shraddha. Swamiji, this Shraddha, especially with respect to cleanliness of the house, and then wearing this costume for seeing the Guru when we go, and then see many times the person's heart is full of devotion and faith towards the Guru, but his costume may not be appropriate for approaching the Guru. Many a times what happens, the people under the Guru, what they do, they restrict you from going near the Guru and say you are not an appropriate clothes. Panchagajan kattigala, ettu mona veshti da kattinduke. All these things they are saying. So, Shraddha, when I read here as saying the costume you wear, does it involve so much of importance? Because I have also seen very rich people who don't wear.
No. See, here he is talking about the sense, even if you wear, there is a saying in Tamil also, no? Kandananam, kasakki odathanam. Meaning, what is your attitude towards your dress? You may be a poor person, you may not have all those things, but whether you have got inside, you have got the attitude of cleanliness, that should reflect in the dress you wear. That is what he is talking about. He is not talking about our Panchakacham, Vadi and our Madam and all that. That is all our, as I told you, it's all Arvachina Vidhi. Krishna has not anticipated all those things. These are the things that are going to be there in society later. Panchakacham becomes important and all that. He is saying attitude. Whether even if you are, whatever dress you wear it clean. That is why the Kodi Madi and all we say, no. Kodi Madi means what? Whether you have washed clothes you are wearing or unwashed clothes you are wearing, or just have 5 sets of clothes, mati nobody will know. Nobody will know, but you know, no, whether it is washed or not. So these are the things he is talking about. The value structure within you, not what outsiders say. That is what he is talking about. So those are all not what you are bringing up is there. It is there in the society. I don't deny that. But that is all not important in terms of understanding your own Shraddha. Whether you are clean, whether you have got an attitude of cleanliness, Saucham, which you have discussed long before in 13th chapter. Exactly.
Saucham, I can understand that. Yes,
that is important.
Yeah. When I read this Shraddha, I thought costume dressed like that.
No. That is why properly. That is why we have to. In the sense, we cannot take it all face value. We have to analyze it properly. What has gone before in the Gita itself.
For whom is the Shraddha? Dehinam, for those who have a body, a human body. The individual human being is the one who has this threefold Trivida Shraddha. What determines the type of Shraddha a person will have, it is born out of nature of Antakarana, that is Swabhavaja. The type of mind you have determines the type of Shraddha you have. That is more appropriate than considering one is born with certain propensities that determine his or her Shraddha. Then you may consider that you are Rajasika or Tamasika by nature and have to train yourself to that. Not like that because you can become Satvika. The whole teaching is meant to take you Satvika, not to catch those people. Therefore, the meaning of Prabhava here is the nature of the Antakarana. There are 3 types of Shraddha depending on the nature of the Antakarana, the mind you have in which you can bring about a change.
Yeah, this is very important. See, the mind you have is the propensity. What they call propensity meaning natural Subhavam. This is how all of us are born with some, because of the upbringing and all that, we may have a certain 30% Shraddha, 30% Satvikam, 30% Tamasikam and 40% Rajasikam. Like that. But that is what is the propensity. But whether you are bringing up by deliberate action, you are bringing up from Rajasika to Tamasika, Satvika, that is where you are, depending on the, you can bring about a change. That is what he is talking about, not about your propensity, but about your effort in making the change that is required to make it Satvika. So that is what, so we should not go by what is the propensity, what we have, that we know. We don't have to ask others. We know exactly where we stay. From that, deliberately you have to do in small and big ways to improve your Satvika Shraddha. Yeah.
Swamiji, I have a question here. See, generally, what Prashant was saying, when even Pujya Sri, when he delivers lectures in abroad, I'm sure people may not come in traditional costumes, at least they will be dressed well enough.
I am not able to listen. I am not able to hear you fully.
No, when Pujya Sri delivers lectures in US and all, people who attend the lecture will definitely come in decent clothes. They may not, because they have that respect for the Guru. So like that, if the Mat says that you are expected to wear this to see Swamigal, why not we just follow it?
Yeah, in the sense, what we have to do is, what we have to analyze at that point in time. We want to meet them, they have got a certain stipulation.
Yes.
Whether we can follow it, whether we have any problem, if you have any problem, you are not able to do it, that's fine. But if you have no problem in doing it, if your Shraddha in meeting the person also implies, okay, you know that you are going to meet him, they will expect such things. If I have the capability, wear that and go. Why not?
Yes.
So that we should not go by our propensity to this is my swabha.
Yes.
Then that is not the right.
Yes,
See, if you have a problem, if you are not able to do it, either you can decide, okay, I'm not in a position to do, I'm not having all those things, I cannot make it. So let me find தூரத்திலிருந்து பார்த்து கும்பிட்டு போட்டு வந்துடலாம். So all those things are possible. So as far as you are concerned, what you are supposed to do is whatever possible best without giving conflict in your mind. With the Satvika Buddhi, with all the Shraddha, you do it.
Yes.
What is appropriate to the given situation, rather than trying to tell what the other people should do, what the mutt should do.
Yes.
That is not in our hands. What is the point in discussing that?
Yes, that's what I'm
So
saying.
what I can do, controllables, they say no in management. Controllables, let us control the controllables. And there let us exhibit Satvika Shraddha. Don't go by my own propensity. This is how we have to start. This is whatever is possible. Controllable is what we can do. That we should keep on doing it on a day-to-day basis. Don't bother about what others are supposed to do. So that is their problem. We have to go by what we are supposed to do.
Actually, I read long back. I read in a book the question and answer. Somebody had asked this question: why should we do it? That answer was, when you go to when a lawyer goes to the court, he wears the dress that has been assigned to him. Like you go and work in a corporate, you are expected to wear certain dress. Like that, when you go visit a guru, you are expected to wear this dress. So don't question that. Long back.
Yeah, it's all because it doesn't add value to our life. What is the point? We can make some changes, you can do that. Suppose you are able to take 1,000 people and make the mud change that. Okay, that is a revolutionary. You can do that. But you have to invest a lot of time and energy and convince a lot of people. All those things are necessary. If you can do that, you can do that. But otherwise, today I am not in a position to do it, but I want to meet him. I go with whatever dress is stipulated and go and be done with it. Otherwise, we are not able to go because I don't have the dress. From a distance, we do the prayer and be done with it. Either way, both are appropriate. That will not create conflict within you.
Yes.
Your propensity or will not interfere with what is your Satvika Shraddha in that moment. So let us concentrate on that. That's what he's saying. Let us keep doing that one by one, day by day.
Okay.
Actually, Swamiji, I'll tell you something very short. So, what happens is for Tulasi Vivaham, recently that was there, some people, our thing specifically says do it at home. Do it at home with all Shraddha, right? Some people think Shraddha is only there when you go to the temple and do it. So, what you are trying to tell is, do what is appropriate, do not judge. That's what I understand.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Very important. And we have to be, we say we should be true to our conscience. Whether what is my understanding, whether as per my understanding, I want to do very sincerely certain things, and I go ahead and do it to the best extent possible. Keep doing it. That is how your Satvika Shraddha will grow, one day at a time. So, and of course, there may be conducive atmosphere within the house, outside the house, society and all that. To that extent is possible only, we will do it. But that is where that Param Bhagavan himself has told, Pushpam Payam, so I am Pannalum Poram, but Shraddhayoda Panna. So, those things are all available for us. We have to be, the thing is that we cannot be judging others on that. This is all told only to look at our own propensity vis-a-vis our action. You have to not go by your propensity, but by our action to grow out of the propensity. If you are already a Satvika person, that's fine. Re-establish that. You stick to it. Don't divert from that. If you are not, you improve your Satvika Shuddhi by doing in small ways things which you are supposed to do, which you have not been doing all along, and improve upon it. Small thing, one thing at a time, every day, and it will automatically grow. That's what he is trying to say. And he will more and more, he will say a lot of things. Swamiji himself will give examples. You will find surprising. A lot of your questions will be answered. Yeah. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Namaha. Hari Om.